I did want to take a couple of minutes during comments this evening to provide a few updates to the ongoing coronavirus situation. As you're probably aware, we have been communicating updates frequently, providing information regarding this rapidly evolving situation. All of those communications, plus links to our local county health department, the Maryland Department of Health, and the CDC are included so that families can find the latest information, updates, and recommendations regarding the virus. And if you're not getting those communications and you want to see that information, it is on the front page of our website, a link that's easily accessible to all that information. In partnership with the County Health Department, we continue to follow our communicable disease protocol. We've reviewed plans with all our health room nurses, our school-based administrators. Our buildings are appropriately cleaned and disinfected. In addition, and probably most importantly, we continue to emphasize the strategies for reducing transmission of any flu-like illness, including self-care, good hygiene, and the tried and true best practices of effective and frequent hand washing. We continue to be in close contact with our county health department partners and are monitoring information and recommendations coming from the Maryland Department of Health, our governor, and the CDC. To that end, we are following the governor's direction from Monday given to state employees, and we notified our community today of the decision to cancel any out-of-state travel, meetings, conferences, field trips, activities, athletic events, etc. for both students and staff until further notice. Our goal is to be consistent with our governor's direction in containing any spread in Maryland, and when staff and students travel to another state, we may compromise that effort. Travel continues inside the state, so field trip, events, activities, but we'll continue to monitor that and provide updates as appropriate. As was shared in the community update that went home last Friday, should we discover that any student or school staff member has been exposed to the coronavirus in some way or has been diagnosed with COVID-19, we will immediately begin the work with the Carroll County Health Department following their recommendations for investigation, communication, and response. We recognize that there are still many unknowns moving forward, and so at this time there's been no decision to close schools. If we would reach that point, please know that that decision would only be made after soliciting recommendations and input from local and state health departments. The safety and well-being of our students and staff will continue to be the basis for any decision that's made. Our school-based teams have started work on learning opportunities for students should closures become a reality. We're working on plans to provide access to educational opportunities so that students have the ability to maintain their skills and continue to work on curricular-related content. But to be clear, these plans are not intended to progress students through new curriculum. More information will be forthcoming if closures become something that has to be considered. I'm appreciative of the patience and support of everyone, along with the preparedness efforts of our school system and our county as we work together to meet the challenges that this situation brings. Again, we will continue to provide updates and information as we receive them. Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Lockard, I really appreciate you've been keeping the board informed and basically trying to keep the community informed that, we recognize the situation, we're continuously monitoring it and making sure that we're pushing those communications out at an appropriate level. And so I do also appreciate the fact that you're proactively addressing it with the principals and other administrators saying, okay, how do we address this situation if we get to a school closure situation with COVID-19. So although we're certainly not at that point yet, you're talking about putting together packets of information for students and things like that. Where, like you said, we can't really advance the curriculum, right, because we have equity and access issues for certain of our students. But we're doing our best to develop a plan to address those.
That is correct. We think it's better to be proactive now, should that become a reality, so that we are prepared. We were on the phone today with superintendents from around the state talking about very similar approaches in that, should that become a reality.
Mm-hmm.
I do have one question, Dr. Lockard. Are we considering anything about providing meals? I mean, is that a part of the discussion?
It is, and we're meeting just about every day. We have engaged with our food services. We would look to try to consider something very similar to some of the summer programs that we provide, whether that would be bagged type of things for distribution, but we recognize that many of our students rely on us for 2 meals a day, and so we've already begun to investigate how we might be able to continue to provide that kind of service, although modified a bit in some sort of pickup fashion. We're exploring that right now.
Can I mention one thing about that? Make sure if you hear any information, you get it from a reliable source. I was already had 2 communications today, put it that way. It told me when schools were closing here and there, and what we were going to do about it. You know, make sure the information you're getting comes from someone that knows what they're talking about. Don't follow Facebook or Twitter or whatever you're following here about what's happening, because obviously it's not true out there. Like I said, 2 people contacted me today about the school closing. They told me the dates, everything that was going to happen.
Right.
I sound straight to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Commissioner Frazier, and we clarified that in a communication to our entire school community, and reiterated the trusted sources of where information could be. And I think everybody here knows, even if we had a weather closing, you're going to find that on multiple places in our school system, our website. You'll get a personal call from Carrie Gaddis over here, emails. There will be a pretty significant push of information. So I appreciate you bringing that up, and we clarified, and thank the Carroll County Times for the article and helping to clarify where accurate, reliable information can be found.